Hello, everybody. We're back today. We've got Mandy Wilcox here today with Ginger's Baking, and she's going to talk to you about all the things she's ready to bring and deliver to your doorstep on a moment's notice. How you doing this morning, Mandy?
Good. How are you doing?
Great, great. So, how long have you been doing this?
So I started this business about 5 years ago. I've been baking on and off as long as I can remember. My mom was always a home baker. My grandfather was actually also a baker. My grandmother on my father's side was a baker. So
Wow.
it kind of feels like it's just something that runs through your blood and you just go with it. So I started about 5 years ago. I've had a full-time job basically all 5 years. The last 18 months, I kind of really went at it, going to farmers markets for exposure purposes. And it's really picked up some traction. And so I quit my job at a weird timing, and I'm just going after it.
Well, that's great. So you're saying business has picked up to the point where you're able to do that.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
amazing. And you've always done it right from your home the entire time?
That's it. Florida has an interesting law, and there's some other states too. It's called the cottage food law, where you can do, it's called like safe food from your home. So anything that doesn't involve things that aren't shelf stable. So
Yeah.
if you're working with cheeses or things that expire, if they sit on your counter, wouldn't be considered safe. So baked goods are typically okay.
Because they can sit out.
That's right. And so I've just been doing it from home from now on. You have a threshold of sales that you can do annually. And hopefully soon we will be moving into a food truck, and then we'll just be all over.
That's awesome. So did you quit your job like right before COVID? Is that what you're implying, or right at the beginning of it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
Yep.
And so
Yeah,
did you
but it
find,
does give you a different drive. It allows you to think, and it forces you to think outside the box a little bit.
Mhm.
So things aren't as cut and dry as they used to be. And so you just kind of have to roll with it.
Exactly. You have to just, adjust and adapt as we go along. That's what we're all trying to do.
Yep.
So have you found that as a result of the COVID that your business has picked up because people are more at home now, or it's about the same?
Actually, it has picked up. I was getting a lot of business through farmers markets and then occasional things on the side. Right now, I'm solely dedicated right now to applying for bigger farmers markets, ones like, Winter Garden, Winter Park, those big ones that garner a lot of attention. But I'm also getting a tremendous amount of custom orders. So things for offices, for employees, for meetings, for birthdays, all over the place. And, baked goods just because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, especially right now.
Exactly. And baking is not easy, right? Because it's kind of like chemistry. If you don't mix everything just right, it doesn't taste right. And so
it's
why
an
bother
art.
why bother when somebody will bring it right to your doorstep? So that's kind of where we're at right now.
That's great. I think it's a great idea. So tell us a little bit about some of the products that you offer that you're able to, is it just anything people want to hire you for, or you have a certain specialty?
I would say the specialty is really whoopie pies and cookies. Those little handheld walk-arounds that you can grab one, you can grab a dozen and keep them. You can grab one and walk around, eat it, and it's not a problem. Over the last, I'd say 3 or 4 months, cakes have been really big. Celebratory cakes just because they're having, that small family gathering, little celebrations, a birthday, whatever it is. So that's kind of the route I'm going. So whoopie pies, cookies, cupcakes even, and then cakes.
Wow. And then when people say cakes, like how elaborate do you go? Do you do wedding cakes, for instance, or that kind of stuff?
I do the more simple, I'll say simple cakes. The cakes that don't have all of the fondant decorative. It doesn't look like a painting. It is
More about the taste and
more,
the food and the ingredients.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't doll my stuff up a lot because I don't want to take away from how good it tastes.
Yeah. Plus, it sort of makes it like so people have to focus on that. You know, then when they're telling
Yes.
other people about your business, they're not going to go to that first. Like, oh, it looks so great. They're going to go to, well, it tastes great, because that's
Yes,
what they're going to remember from it the most.
exactly.
That's great. And the name Gingers, is that just a play because you have a family member, or the name
It's
itself?
a play on the color of our hair. So
Oh, okay. That's what.
we're both gingers. So we thought it was a cute play on, we're both gingers. We have a ginger colored dog. So that's kind of where it came from.
Well, you said we're both. Do you have a partner in the business?
I do. He does help me a lot. He is my significant other. He's not here today.
Gotcha.
But he is a big
And he's
supporter.
also got red hair.
He also has red hair.
Awesome. That's perfect name then. I was thinking, when I first read it, I didn't know if it was that or for maybe something to do with like gingerbread or something, but it's a good idea. So when you said you've been doing about 5 years, what would you say is the toughest thing you've had to overcome starting this up and getting going to where you are now?
It's just the changes in the activity level. So say prior to February, there were farmers markets on every single corner.
Yeah.
You could go just about anywhere, walk the streets, talk to people, be in close proximity with, 40 other vendors. There was a lot of networking opportunities. It's summertime now. It's a little bit hot. So that activity starts to calm down a bit. But people aren't going in the droves that they used to.
Yeah.
Because there is, this feeling of, well, if I can't socially distance properly, do I want to put myself in a situation where I'm in a crowd of people that I don't know? And then what could you get there that you're passing along to others that you do have regular contact with? And so we've pulled away a little bit, although still applying for some bigger ones and some other opportunities. But I think that's my biggest thing that I've felt, is that those opportunities aren't as often.
Yeah, it dried up a little bit.
It did.
Yeah, and hopefully all that change. Hopefully we can get past this and that all opens back up and we can get back out there and doing that. And I think a food truck will be a great move for you guys when that time comes.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of baking food trucks. It's a kind of an interesting idea.
That's part of what drove me too. And the fact that, Orlando's pretty unique, where you're in all of these pockets of communities. And once you're in your pocket, how often do you leave it?
Yeah.
Not very, right? And it could even be 10 miles down the road and you're not going to go there very often. And so do I want to kind of segregate myself in a very small pocket? Or if you're in a food truck, your overhead typically is a little bit lower, but then you can travel. And then it's like, how many people can you touch at that point? And how many people can you open up to the experience of what we have to offer opposed to somebody else? And you're right. Every time I've gone to a food truck event, it's delicious, amazing food. But what I'm missing is that sweet tooth at the end of my meal when all I want is a little bit of a cookie or a chocolate or something.
Yeah, exactly. I live in Windermere. They have a great food truck night, where they used to. I don't know if they're doing it now. On Friday nights during the warmer months in downtown Windermere, they had a food truck night where it was kind of fun. But yeah, though I don't ever see anything like that. You're right. Maybe there's ice cream trucks every once in a while, but that's about the closest thing you get to that kind of thing. So, if a customer was to choose, say, your business over 3 of your competitors, what would you say would be the selling point for you over them?
I think part of the selling point is, us as people, right? I think especially now in the time of COVID, a lot of people are supporting other people. I think everything that we do being homemade from scratch, kind of like what your mom would produce out of her oven,
Yeah.
is also really appealing, right? It's like a comfort. And that comfort doesn't ever go away. And so to have that with, what I hope people think is a good personality and really yummy food that is from scratch. I can tell you every single ingredient that goes into it. For our carrot cakes, I shave every single carrot myself. And so having that kind of dedication to quality and consistency, and exactly what you're going to get, I think all of those things make an impact on somebody, why they would tend to go with us consistently rather than somebody else.
Plus, you deliver to the doorstep right now.
That's
I don't know a
right.
lot of other companies that do that.
That's right. And it's contactless. If you want to see
Yeah.
me, fantastic. If you don't, that is also okay.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like,
it.
for people that might be concerned with that, tell me some of the precautions and processes that you do when somebody goes and places an order, and how they get that order safely from you, and how that all goes down.
So everything is done in my kitchen that is consistently cleaned prior to baking, after baking, washing your hands all of the time. It's me alone usually. And so you're really narrowed down to exposure points. And then at delivery, I always wear your mask. And if it's contactless, either paying cash where the cash is left wherever I'm dropping. I have cash apps. There are a multitude of ways that you can pay and not see somebody. And then that comfort that I'll let you know exactly when I'm leaving it on your doorstep so that you can go pick it up. And I'll let you know when I'm leaving, so that if there is a regard for your own health because you are immune compromised, I don't put pressure on anybody. I'll bring it right in your house if you want me to, or I'll drop it right in front of your door. It really makes no difference to me. I just want you to get that baked item that you ordered.
Do you do the deliveries yourself?
Yep, I do.
Everything.
I do.
You're
yes.
busy.
Yes, very busy.
So if you look 6 months in the future, assuming COVID goes away, what do you see your business as? What do you see yourself and your business growing into in 6 months to a year?
Really, I see us in a food truck in 6 months. I really do see that this attention to supporting local, supporting small businesses in Orlando and Central Florida in general is going to allow me to get there and get out there and spread this deliciousness to all over everywhere I can drive to.
That's awesome. And so you want to grow the business and you want to stay involved with it and running it. Your dream isn't to necessarily grow it and sell it or be a passive manager or something like that. You want to be.
No, I really enjoy the baking aspect of it. I really like bringing all of these raw ingredients that, flour and sugar and carrots and whatever else, chocolate and vanilla and all of these things. Once you bring it all together in all these raw stages, and then you make something that tastes and looks really delicious and beautiful. And then when you see somebody taste it and they affirm how delicious it is, that's what gets me going. It's not the fact that, we all want our businesses to grow so big that you need help. I would never deny that. That's a great problem to have, but I really love being in the middle of it.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't mean you have to not have help. It just means you're still active in the business. Everybody's got a little bit different motivation. So when you get to that point, do you envision that you'll have other employees with the food truck with you, or are you just going to and get maybe multiple food trucks later on at some point? Or
I would hope so. It would be really great. It would be great to have a fleet of trucks, or to have a truck and a brick and mortar, because people want to be able to just drive to your storefront every single day and get what they crave. So I leave myself open. I'm a big believer that the universe will kind of take you on a journey if you just let it. And so I'm just letting it go. And so once we get into that first food truck, I'll be on my own and I'll be like all over the place. And as it grows, you just let it go.
Yeah. So what areas do you deliver to right now? What's your service area so everybody knows?
So it's really all of Central Florida. I don't deny any delivery. I guess unless it's like in Miami, unless you pay for my gas, and then I'm still totally
Wow.
fine.
That's
But
dedication.
really, well, right. And, you know, you just never know who you're going to touch with your product. And so I don't want to say that I wouldn't deliver to that place because it's too far, because quite frankly, for me, it's all about exposure
Mhm.
and touching as many people as I can with our product.
That's great. And how are people finding you right now? Just getting in hold of you? Do you have advertisements out? Are they finding you on the internet? And what kind of role is
Yeah,
that
so
playing?
you know, I've got to make that stronger. That's tough right now with
Mhm.
COVID. It makes it extra tough on competing for that internet ad space.
Mhm.
And so we are on Facebook and Instagram. I post regularly with whatever the project that day or week is. And I try to keep people up to date with what we're offering, what we can do for you, the fact that we do deliver, contactless delivery, all of those things that are really important to everybody right now during this very weird season of global life.
Mhm. Yeah, with kids being at home now too, I'm sure that stuff will be a big hit.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
what else? Yeah, so you guys have, I saw your website isn't quite up yet. People can find you by, they want to go to your Facebook page. Is that how the best way for them right now to get a
Yeah,
hold of you? Yeah.
the website is under construction right now, so hopefully we'll be getting that up soon. But right now, Facebook and Instagram, both at Ginger's Baking Co.,
Okay,
are
great.
the best way to find me. My phone number is on there, email address is on there. Any way you can contact me, and I'm there.
That's great. And what's your lead time if somebody were to order? Are you backed up?
Right now, I can turn things pretty quickly because I don't go that extra extraordinary like fondant, and
Baking
it's more
competition.
simple. Right. And so I can turn things really quickly. If you have, you know, oh my gosh, I forgot, birthday, it's tomorrow, I can usually turn it around that quickly.
Wow. What's
So
your
I try to,
favorite thing to make? What is
oh
your
my
one favorite thing
gosh,
that you enjoy the most?
oh my gosh, that's hard. That's hard. I think the carrot cake is one of my favorites because it's labor intensive, but it comes out so nicely and it's so good. It's one of our biggest sellers. That and one of the most simple ones are coconut macaroons, which is
Oh,
3
nice.
ingredients, and they are
That
delicious.
sounds great.
It's like the insides of a Mounds bar, but better.
Wow, yummy.
So those are probably the two of my favorite, but I just love exploring. I like trying new things, different takes on, you know, current recipes that I have. And so even if what you're looking for isn't on Facebook or Instagram or on our menu, I want people to not be shy to ask
Uh-huh.
because we always love a challenge.
Where did you get your recipes? Are they from the other members of your family that bake? And is that for sort of a family recipe thing, or did you come up with them yourself?
So a
Or
little
do you
bit
not
of
want to give your
both.
secret away?
Well, I can't give my secrets away,
Of course, yeah.
but some of it is from my mom. Some of it is passed down. Some of it were recipes that I took a little bit from this one, a little bit from this one, a little bit from this one, all the things that I found really interesting, and I put them all together and just tried it. And then as iterations go forward, you make little changes here and there, and until there's no complaints. You know, it's not like,
Mhm.
oh, if you added a little bit of this, it would be even better. At this point, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you even get it to taste like that.
Well, I'm not sure. Hey, live in a house that's constantly baking things, and I'd be like eating everything the whole time. Every time your significant other comes home, and every time he walks into the house, it smells like great food. It's like,
It's not easy. I'll
yeah,
tell you, it's not easy. And we do a lot of quality control. We've got to make sure it
of
tastes
course,
good.
yeah. And the dog joins in too, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we do struggle with that for sure, but we are also both pretty healthy eaters when we're not doing that. And I've really beat it into myself to just taste a little bit. I don't need 5 cookies. I can eat like a half of a cookie and understand what it tastes like. And
Sort of like working at a
both,
brewery or a winery or something. You have
yes,
to exhibit that
exactly.
self-control, yeah.
Well, and you have to understand what it tastes like so that you can describe it properly to people.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know, for all these reasons, I continue to taste things. And we both work out regularly. So I run a
You have
lot. And
plenty of opportunity to eat then, right?
that's right. So you have one, and then it's offset by the other.
Perfect.
As
That's how it
best you
is.
can. As
Yeah.
best you can.
Well, is there anything else you want to discuss? I mean, it's been great having you on. I think anything that anybody needs to know about you or your business that you want to tell them right now.
If there is anything you want to know, you have any questions, you want to see pictures, you want to hear, you know, reviews and see reviews, please go to Facebook, Instagram. Everything is out there. We have a menu posted with our prices posted as well. And again, if there is something that you don't see, please don't be shy. It's not that we don't offer it. We just don't offer in grand quantities like everything else that we have listed. So please don't fear to reach out. Always reach out. And you can find us again at Ginger's Baking Co. on both Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Well, Mandy Wilcox, thank you for joining us today from Ginger's Baking. Is it
Thank you
Ginger's
for
Baking
having me.
Company or Ginger's Baking?
You know, I'll say both of them, but you'll
Okay.
find us at Ginger's Baking Co. So it's
Yeah,
really
that's
Ginger's Baking Company.
beautiful. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.
Talk to you soon.